Hi guys, in this session I'm going to explain how to write a Hello World program. Before going to write a actual program, please follow these steps. First install IntelliJ IDE, then install Python plugin. Use recent versions only. I am using Python 3.12 version. I hope you can install. After installing, please follow these steps. I'm opening IntelliJ IDE. It is taking some time. Okay, it opened one window. It has so many options. Within that, I'm opening new project. You have to type practice code as a project name. This practice code project saved into the local file system. Practice code is the folder name also. You need not to check this create git repository because we are not interested in version control system. Okay, take language as a Python, environment as a new. If you are familiar with the existing environment, you can use existing, but I am taking it as a new. Environment types are virtual environment, Conda, PyPNV, Poetry. Within all these types, I am selecting virtual environment. Actually, this environment type is needed whenever there is a dependency management and we want to bundle a application. I'm taking a virtual environment as an environment type. Location based interpreter, keep it as it is. Don't check these two. And I'm continuing with this settings. I'm clicking on create. It is taking some time to open it. Look at the bottom. It is doing some process. Wait for this to end. Okay, it is opened. Okay, try to open a new Python file. Take hello world as a Python file name and clicking on enter. In project window, hello world.py is loaded and hello world.py with the .py extension. .py is a Python file extension. It means that it contains a source code. Okay, I'm collapsing. I'm typing print. You can type one parenthesis. Automatically, there is another parenthesis comes with as a pair. Even if you type one quote, there is another quote will come as it is. Within these quotes, I will write a hello world. Here it giving us some error message. I want to resolve it. Okay. Okay, error message is disappeared. I can run in both ways. One from editor window, it gives a output. This is hello world is a output. Another way is clicking on the top button. It shows a hello world. It means that hello world is the recent file executed. After that, I'm clicking on run button. It is also giving a hello world as a output. In both ways, I can run a program. Okay, instead of hello world, I can type anything here. I'm changing single quote to double quote. Even if we change to double quote also, it will run and it will give a same result. I hope you understood. If any queries, text me. See you in next session. In this session, I am going to explain you variables. Name equal to param, age equal to 30. Here, left hand side of the equal sign, all are considered as a variables. That is name and age are variables. Param and 30 are values. Param is assigned to the name, 30 is assigned to the age. Name and age are variables. What actually the variable? Variable is a identifier and the and a memory location. It is it is point to the memory location of the value. At the same time, we can say in other words, variable contains a value, and we can say that value is assigned to the variable. So many ways we can say all are correct. Name is the identifier we know, and age is also identifier we know. Identifier have some rules. We have to follow these rules to create a correct variable or valid variable. Identifier naming rules. These are you have to follow. The variable's first character must be an underscore or alphabet. Every one of the character with the exception of the main person might be letter set of lowercase, capitalized, highlight or digit. Whitespace and special characters are not allowed in the identifier. Identifier name should not be like any watchword characterized in the language. Names of identifiers are case sensitive. For instance, my name and my name with the capital letters is not something very similar. Yeah, there is a example of a valid identifiers, example of a invalid identifiers as shown in PPT. Okay, follow these rules to write a variable. I will practically show you what are the correct variables, what are not correct variables. When ID gives the error, I will show you in practically. Name is param. It is a valid. Okay, even variable is valid identifier also. It gives a error message because we are not assigned any value. We have to assign some value. This means that here it is a error. Here it is a error. What it means that we have to assign some value. We have to assign some value. Okay. Param and Ishwar both are valid string literals. You can say that these can be written in double quotes. We can written in single quotes. Even these are valid. And name is with the capital N. Name is in a second line with a small n. So both are not same. Both are not same. Both are valid variables. Okay. While we are typing, some of the error message appearing and disappearing, and you can identify all these things. Whenever we give some value and we are assigning it to the variable, error messages disappearing. So here underscore age also valid identifier. Here it is giving a error message because there is a typo mistake. Instead of T, we have to type capital T. Okay. Error message disappeared. Okay. It is also valid. It is also valid identifier. I will show you what is not identifier. Here it is showing one age is not a valid identifier. Not valid. Not valid identifier. It is also not a valid identifier. Okay. Here right hand side are the values, left hand side are the variables. Some of the valid and not valid identifiers I shown to you, and you can understand. In one age, it is in the fifth line. You can identify that one is not started with the number. One age is started with the number, so it is a not valid identifier. Age plus, within age plus, there is a space in between age and plus because it is not a valid identifier. So I think you are understood. This is the end of the session. I will see you in next session. Hi guys. In this session I'm going to explain you what is dynamic typing. Okay, I'm taking x as a variable and I am assigning with some uh, string literal. Okay, here we can understand that name at the rate of 1 to 3 is a string and this is assigned to the x variable. Here I'm not typing any data type. There is no declaration for x variable. Without declaring a x variable, we are able to run it in Python, whereas it is not possible in C or C++ or Java. So try to print it. It will run. Okay, try to run it. Yeah, it printed name at the rate of 123 class string. And we can understand easily that without declaring a data type, we are able to assign a value. We are able to identify the type of the value. So no problem. Even we continue with some x value. If we reassign value to the x variable, try to run it. Okay, from fifth line it is 32. X variable have a 32 and the x variable type is integer. Before we saw that x variable have a string value. In this moment we saw that x variable have a integer value. So it means that value have a data type in a Python but not a variable. Variable can be assigned with many data types. So this is called dynamic typing. We have to identify the difference between different languages and the Python language. So I think you are get a clarity. This is called dynamic typing. I hope you understood. I see you in the next session. Hello guys. In this session I am going to explain you what all data types. In Python we have to note one important point, that is values have a data type, not a variables. And I will explain you inbuilt data types. There is so many categories. I am explaining you one by one. Categories are numeric, iterator, sequences, mapping, file, class, exception. There is so many uh, data types, inbuilt data types in these categories. You can check this PPT. I will explain you what all numeric data types. In the next session, I will continue with the numeric data types. Remaining all the categories, I will explain one by one in future. In numeric data types, integers keyword is int. Actually, this integer data type contains a positive and negative whole number without decimal and fractional values. There is a no limitation for integer storage. You can uh, take as resources available, how much resources is available. The same you can utilize in Python. After running out of resources only, it limits you. There is no limit for integer in Python. Floats. Float is the keyword. It contains a near real number at the same time with a decimal point. In scientific notation, it uses E or capital E. Okay, same like a other languages. Here in Python, complex numbers are given as a priority. In mathematics, we will use complex numbers. Python have this facility for a calculation. In this numeric data types, complex numbers are contains a real part and imaginary part with J. Example, you can look into the PPT. Booleans, so many uh, uh, languages have a boolean as a data type. Normally in C, it represented as a 1 or 0, but in Python, it is true or false. Hi guys, in this session I'm going to explain you what is addition, subtraction, multiplication, all these arithmetic operations performed with the numbers. So just try to print 2 into 2 plus 3. What we got as a output? 5. Then print 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2. What we got as a output? 1. Print 3 into 2. What is the output? 6 we are getting. Okay, print 3 by 2. 3 divided by 2. What we got as a output? 1.5. Here is the one major important point you have to remember. 3 is a integer, 2 is a integer, but we get a result 1.5. 1.5 is a floating point. Here 1.5 is a floating point. Okay, for integer division we can get a floating point as a result. And if you want a integer division, you have to use this operand operator, not operand, operator. Here 5 is a operand, 2 is a operand. This is called operator. Okay, doing. If we run, we got a 2 as a result, as a output. So we understood that this is the integer division. If we want a remainder, okay, what is the remainder? 1 is the remainder we got. Until now, there is a small arithmetic operations we understood. It is very simple. It is like a calculator. Python working as a calculator. This 5 by 2, 3 by 2, 3 into 2, 3 minus 2, 2 plus 3. All these are called expressions. Here 2 is operand, 3 is operand, plus is the operator. So we have to remember like this. This is the expression. These are operands. This is the operator. Okay. Little more complicated I want to do. If we do some arithmetic operation, we want a result as we expected, but Python will give you some other output. Just check it out. So I'm expecting result would be 10, but what happens? Check it out. We are getting minus 26. Even that is also floating point 1 number. So why this is happening? Actually, what we will do when we are doing a calculation, we will start from the left to right and we will do calculating step by step. 4 minus 3, then 3 into 5, then 5 by 2 by 2 into 4. This is the left to right. We will do some operations we will do. So as a result, we expected 10, but it is not happening. So there is a concept called operator precedence. I will explain you operator precedence in next session. Please wait for that. You will understand more things that what happens actually in the background. Hi, in this session I'm going to explain you operator precedence. There is so many acronyms are available in Python. Just follow these acronyms. In these acronyms, we have a multiplication division have a equal precedence. At the same time, additional subtraction have a equal precedence. When there is a equal precedence, they evaluated from left to right. In this slide, there is so many operators available from top to bottom. From top is a higher precedence and bottom is a least precedence. Follow top to bottom whenever you are trying to evaluate a expression. I'm trying to print a value of this expression. Okay, try to get a output. Here I got a minus 26 as a output. I want to change this expression to give a value as a 10. So I am changing operator precedence so that it gives a value as 10. Check out. Yeah, we got a 10. So we have to follow the operator precedence to get whatever the result we are expecting. I hope you understood. See you in the next session. Hi guys. In this session, I am going to explain string in Python. How this string will work in Python program. I will explain you one by one. Okay, actually we have to understand what is string literal. One of the string literal is written in single quote. For double quote, also string literal we consider. Okay, even if we write a string within the single quote, string within the double quote also considered as a string literal, and we can type number. We can take it as a string literal if we double quote around number. We are using a print function over this string. It will print in a output. Okay, I taken a string literal that is within the single quote, within the double quote, and even the number, and I just want to print it. Output we got as a what we are expected. Okay, here I want to change the number and at the same time changing it to double quotes. I'm entering a number within the double quotes. This is also called a print function and it gives a output and try to identify type. Okay, try to use this type function to identify which type the value is. Here, check out. It is the type of string. It is showing it. This is not a number. This is a string. Okay, we will do some other operations. Within the print, if we take two strings, what happens? Within the print, I am taking two strings. So what happens? Just we will check. Okay, no problem. It given a output. String is concatenated with the other string without any operation. You can take this as a variable. Okay, within the print function, if we use a variables, what happens? We will check out. It given a errors. Check out these errors. What is those errors? So how to resolve these errors? I will show you how to resolve these errors. Yeah, errors disappeared. So why? This is the operation we are using. Plus operator gives a result. Okay, check out this output. Yeah, we got a output. Plus operator gives this output. Plus is called concatenation. Whenever we use in between strings. Okay, it is concatenated. One more thing we will do here. Check out this output. The same thing. It is given a some space in between number and string. Here number is also considered as a string. If we take it as a number, okay, what happens? Check it out. Yeah, it is given a error. Why? Within two strings, you can use a concatenation operator. That means plus operator. But you cannot use number with a string. So how you can resolve this one? use string as a function over numeric number. It resolves it. Yeah, it is resolved. And one more example I will show you. I'm using a input function. Check out what happens. Okay, some mistyping. Okay, it disappeared. Error is disappeared. Okay, just check out this output. Your name. Okay, I entered. It given a hello Peter. So what actually this input function is doing? Here input function is doing, it is taking a name from input terminal, and it will takes the input, and this will be printed in a print function. Okay, we are taking a Peter as a name for a input. This is the output we got it. So I think you understood what is print, what is input, what is string function, and what is the concatenation. And I think you understood everything. I hope you get a clarity. See you in the next session. Hi guys. In this session, I am going to explain you escape characters in string. So when we are going to use escape characters, I will tell you by step. Just follow me. For every single quote, there is another single quote comes as a pair. Within the pair of single quotes, I am trying to type. Here, this is giving a error message. Why it is giving a error message? Within the single quotes, there is one more other quote inside it. So for to avoid these errors, we will use backslash. Okay, errors disappeared. Right symbol we are getting here. Try to print it. Yeah, we get a does not. Even single quote also we got in output. Okay, if we do something, if we want to change double quote, we does not need escape character at this moment. Even it will run. Yes, it is running. It is giving a output. Why? Because Here within the double quotes, I used a single quote. That's why we are not needed escape character here. Here it also it will run. What we are doing within the single quotes, I use it a double quotes. We got a double quotes around a S. We got as a output. If we try to use double quotes within the double quote, give a error message. At this moment, what we have to do is just try to use a escape character. Yes, we got a output. Okay, we are getting a output. The same way, within the single quotes, if you want a double quotes, no problem. Within the single quote, if you want a single quote, it gives a error message. So that we will use escape character. The same thing will work with the double quotes also. Within double quotes, we can accept single quote. Whenever we want a escape character, we have to type it. Here also we are getting a error message. Within the single quote, we are using a single quote. Even there is a double quotes around it. This is a one more practical issue we are facing. So you use escape character, try to get output. It is working. I- Here, this is a new line. This is a tab. So how it will work, I will show you. Here I got a high. After a new line, it will comes to the new line. After how there is a tab, then RU is printed. So how we can use new line and tab? We are using a backslash. Backslash n is a new line. Backslash t is a new tab. So we will try to use it more practically. What we are expecting, some name with the total path we are expecting as a output. Here it is showing new line. Whether it will give you a new line, whether it will give you a new line or a name as a printed. So we will check out. Okay, we got a output as see some name. Instead of name, it is taken it as a new line, and AME is printed. So what actually we are expected something else, but here new line is not performing as we expected. So what we have to do, if we keep R in front of this, it will resolve it. Okay, we got a output. We will follow some other steps. Here also we will get the same problem. So it is giving a tab, but not the sum try. So how to resolve it? Use or in front of this string. It is resolved. It is more of the practical, so it will take some time. Follow the steps. You feel bored when if you are not uh, understood. Please follow. I'm using a triple quotes. More of the practical help you better programmer. Okay, this gives the output. Okay, from usage, things are it is showing. If we keep this black backslash escape character everywhere, what happens? Check out. Comes in the same line. If you does not use this escape character backslash, it comes in a different line. So this is the output we got as expected. Please follow. See you in the next session. Hi guys, in this session I'm going to explain you how indexing works in a string. Okay, I'm typing a name. It is assigned with a string. We went together is a string assigned to the name. Try to print string called name variable. Try to print the length of the variable. Within print, length is first evaluated. Then it comes to the print. Check the output. We win together is a string. It is the length of 15. Indexing starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this string have a character array. It starts with the 0 index and ends with the 14 index. Try to print a name character at the first position. Okay, E. We got a E. At 1, we have a E. So I will try to enter 13. Okay, it will give E. If I try to print 10th character, it is also giving E. Okay, I will change it. Some other character it will print. It's a O. Okay, whatever the string it may be, it will start with a 0 and with positive number that is less than 1 of a length. Here length is 15, so it will end up with 14. If I try to print 14th position, it will give you a result R. So if we type 15, it will give us error. Check it out. Okay. So we can understand that within the length only we can take a output as a character. Outside of outside of the length, it gives a error called string index out of range. I hope you got a clarity. See you in the next session. Hi guys, in this session I am going to explain a slicing mechanism that works in Python. In other words, it is a substring. Okay. In a square brackets, I'm taking first indices as a 0, last as 14. What it will do? Check. We win together is to be printed. but there is R missing. Why? Because 14th is the last one that is excluded. In a first indices, 0 is included. In second indices, excluded. So we are getting this. Okay, try to use different. Okay, it started with 5, it ended with 14. So it is giving second indices must be greater than first indices. This is the first indices, this is the second indices. First indices must be less than second indices, otherwise second indices must be greater than first indices. Okay, if it does not give a second indices, what happens? It given a total string. There is nothing in second indices. It means that it will stop at the ending of the string. Here we got a full string. Even it is included R. If it does not give both indices, what happens? Same thing. It gives a full string. Okay, combination of many things. I want to use it from 0 to 2. 0 to 2. 2 to 14. 5 to 14. Okay. When together R is not included. Just I pronounced it. Here check this one. Zero indices. It starts with a 0 and it ends with the 2. 2 is not included. So WE and started with 5, ended with 14. Started with 5. Started with 5. N. It is included blank space. Till 14th indices, it is taken a substring and 14th one is not included. It is excluded. So you can do many of combinations. Okay, R is included. So this is it. This is the slicing with positive numbers, and we can understand that from the indices 0 to up to the length it will work, and it gives a substrings in a string. I hope you understood. I see you in the next session. Hi guys, in this session I'm going to explain you what is the negative indexing in string. Okay, we know indexing starts with a 0 to the length minus 1 position, whereas if we consider this this we want with a negative indexing, so it starts with the ending to the first one. Negative indexing starts with the uh, ending, that is -1 to -15 in this string. Total length of the string is 15. So it started with the 1, it ended with the -15. So I will type negative index. Yeah, it given a output R. Okay. If I use -15, yeah, it will work. If I try to use -16, it will not work. It gives a error. Yeah, string index out of range error. If we do some operation with s in okay, what it will give? WR, W plus R. It is concatenated. It's a plus operator. If we change it to combination of positive index and negative index, what happens? Check it out. It given a output. So many ways we can do a negative indexing and positive indexing. I hope you understood. I will see you in the next session. Hi guys, in this session I'm going to explain statements and blocks. What is statement? Instructions that a Python interpreter can execute are called statements. There are many types of statements: single line and multi-line. In a single line, you can write a statement within a line. It is single line. Multi-line means that you can write in a multi-line for readability. There are other types of statements are available: assignment statements, conditional and loop statements, expression statements. There are many types of statements in these categories. I've written in a PPT. Please go through with the PPT. There is a multi-line statements. Multi-line statements I explained before itself. For the readability, we are using multi-line statement. If you are writing a code within the single line, it makes it difficult to read. So we are making it multi-line. We can make utilize parentheses, braces, brackets, semicolons, and slash to make code more readable. Block is a group of statements. Block of statements can be indented together. Blocks are used to define the scope of variable and to control the flow of execution. The statements in a block are executed as a unit. This means that if one statement in the block raises an exception, the remaining statements in the block will not be executed. And if you are defining a variable, that variable is useful within the block only. It is visible within the block only. It is not visible outside the block. This is called a scope. I hope you understood. This is the example of a block. My function is the function. Within this my function, x equal to 10 is the statement. Print x is the statement. These two statements are indented by 4 spaces. These are in the same level. So this is a block of code. And another if condition is also available. The same thing we can explain just like a function. I hope you understood. I'm moving to the next slide. The rules for Python block syntax. Blocks must be indented by 4 spaces. Statements in a block must be indented by the same amount of space. The scope of a variable in a block is limited to the block itself. I hope you understood. See you in the next session. Hi guys, in this session I'm going to explain if statements. If statements work with the Python conditions. Here are the conditions. All these are mathematical conditions we are using into the Python for if statements and for loops and many areas we will make utilize these conditions. Here we are saying equals. It is double equal, not a single equal. If it is a single equal, it is considered as an assignment. It is not a condition if it is a single equal. If it is two equal symbols, it is considered as a conditional operator. That is equals operator. So many uh, operators, conditional operators, we know. Here I shown in this PPT. If statement flowchart. In the if statement, there is a conditional expression. If the conditional expression evaluated to true only, it enters into the block of code. Otherwise, it will not enter into the block of code. We know what is the block of code that I explained in earlier session. I will give a example to this if statements practically in IntelliJ IDE. Please follow. Hi. Here I'm going to explain an example of a if statement. I'm trying to take a number from a input. Please enter a input. I'm taking a if condition. If condition works with the conditional statement. Here I'm checking for a condition that gives a true or false based on the number entered is even number or not. Okay, try to run it. What happens? It is given a error message. How to resolve it? Type a int over input function. Try to rerun a program. I entered input as a 8. Enter. Number is even. Okay. Here the error message is disappeared and the print number is even is printed. Why? Because if condition is true. Here number is a even number. So because of that, its remainder is equal to 0. Check this if condition. This is true. This number gives a true condition gives a true. That's why only it is entered into the block of code. That's why only it is given a output like this. If you want to modify some more things you want to do, okay. Okay. I will explain one by one. here number is a even number. That's why the condition is true. Input I taken as a 8. That's why it is entered into the code block and it is executed. We will rerun it. What happens? I will check. If it is 5, no, there is no output. Rerun it. If its input is 6, it is printed. Number is a even number. That's why if condition is true, because of that it entered into the block of code. It is given a output. What happens if second statement is not indented properly? So what happens? Yeah, if this is not entered intended indented in proper way, so because of that second statement is not considered as a statement within the if condition. Play with this. I changed indentation again. There is no output. Why? There is spaces between the level of indentation is checked. There is a 4 spaces before this second statement, print statement. So block of code is explained in this if statement. At the same time, how if statement is working, we understood. I hope you got a clarity. I see you in the next session. Hi guys, in this session I'm going to explain if else statements. The if else statement is similar to if statement except the fact that it also provides the block of the code for the false case of the condition to be checked. If the condition provided in the if statement is false, then the else statement will be executed. Hope you understood. I will show you practical example in a IntelliJ. In this example, I will show you if and else statements. After a colon, it takes a indented position and it will start after 4 spaces. Started printing. So if statement is true, it will enter into the if block. If it is false, it is enter into the else block. In a block, you can write as many number of statements you can write. Okay, try to run this code. If I enter 5, number is odd. It given a star marks. Sixth statement and seventh statements are in a same indentation level. That's why it is called a block. It is in the else part. So we are saying it is a else block. It is printed. Why? Because number is odd number. So if statement gives a false, so because of it is false, it is entered into the else part of the code. Rerun it. Yes, it is running. What happens if you remove indentation? It is given a error. Why? Because after if statement there must be a else statement. There is no statement to be in between. So what happens if the indentation level is not in the same level? If there is a extra spaces, what happens? It is also gives a error. So I hope you understood. In a block of code, statements to be indented in a same level. This is the same level. This is same level. Here there is a four spaces. Here there is a four spaces. Here also there is a four spaces. I hope you understood. See you in the next session. Hi guys, in this session I am going to explain you if and else code blocks. If is a keyword, it comes with the conditional statement. If it is conditional statement is true, it follows the if block. Otherwise, it follows the else if block. If multiple else if blocks are written in one after other, if one else if block is true, it follows that sequence. If it is not true, it checks for the another else if block condition. If it is not true, it comes with the another else if block condition, and it goes on that, and finally it reaches to the else block. If none of the if and else if blocks are considered as a true, condition is not true, then it comes with the else block. Finally it executes the else block. So this is the flow of a execution. In between if and else, if and else, there is no other blocks are accepted. Just it follows one after other. I will explain you practically. Please follow. In this session I am going to explain you what is if and else example practically. So I will keep some of the code as it is, and I will start with if condition. If number equals to 10, print. Please follow my code so that you can understand how you are going to write elif. You can write any number of elif statements as you need it. Finally, it comes with the else. It is a simple example. I'm taking a number from input terminal. So I'm checking with if condition whether it is number equal to 10 or not. If it is number equal to 10, then it prints the number is 10. It checks with the else if block if number is not 10. And if there is number is 20, it will follow the block of code and it will print number is 20. If it is not true, even number is not 10, number is not 20, and if number is 30, it will follow the sequence. Print number is 30. From if to all elifs or every condition is false, then finally it reaches to the else block. It prints number is not 10, 20, 30. Simple. I'm executing it. I entered a 15. Number is not 10, 20, 30. Result we got as expected. I will rerun. I will 20. Number is 20. First it checks with the number equal to 10. It is false. Then it followed the else if block. It is number equal to 20. So that's why number is 20. It is printed. I will rerun it. Number is 30. It checks with the if and else if both are not true, so then it is followed the uh, else if block from the sixth line. So this is given a output. I hope you understood. I see you in the next session. Hi guys, in this session I am going to explain for loops. Before going to explain for loops, I am going to explain what is loop. Most of the works we do repeatedly. The same way, if we want to make utilize a computer, we have to instruct a computer to do some repeated tasks. Computers are capable enough to do repeated tasks. So this is we will achieve with the loops in a many programming languages. So here I am coming to the loops in Python. There are many types of loops are available: for loop, while loop, list comprehensions, and generator expressions. I'm going to explain you for loop in this session, and in future sessions I will explain you while loop. So remaining things are at the end of the course. So hope you understood. In this for loops, I'm going to explain what are the sequences, what are the iterators, how is performs the for loop statements, how it will execute. I will explain you one by one. What is for loop? For loop is a loop used for to iterate over a sequence. Here we are saying what is the sequence? List, tuple, dictionary, set, or a string. All of them are called sequences. Now, for loop, we can execute a set of statements. Once for each item in a list, tuple, set, or string. each item in a list or each character in a string. For loop iterates over uh, each character in a string. There is for in loop which is similar to for each loop in other languages. I hope you understood. Every time when we want to execute a set of statements, it for loop checks for a boolean value whether it is a true or false. Unlike a if statement, in a for loop, body of the loop can be executed, set of statements can be executed whenever there is a false. It checks for a true. When it is a true, it will loop will be terminated. What is true? When is true? Whether list or string or some other sequences, when it reaches to the end of the sequence. String may be with the set of characters. For first character, it will enter into the first loop. For second character, it will enter into the second loop. For third character, it is enter into the third loop. But for the last character, it will terminate. After a last character, it will terminate. So if it is true, it will terminate. If it is false, it will enter into the body of the loop. Whenever it reaches to the end of the character only, it terminates. Hi guys, I'm going to explain you for loops, examples, and how I will debug. I will show you, and what are the steps to follow. I will explain one by one. This is the string I'm taking, and for loop, so this is the simple example that I'm going to explain you. Here I taken a captions. This is a string, and for loop I'm iterating over a iterator or sequences that is called string. That is a variable captions. Within these captions, one by one we will traverse from first character to the end of the character, end of the string, and I will try to run it. You can understand. Okay. I'm trying run for loops. Okay. This is the output we got. What is happening actually? For string, we win together. Every character is taken from the every iteration, and that is printed here. Uh, for to explain you more how to give a clarity and debugging. First, I will make you understand what is debugging. Then I will continue with the debugging process, so you can understand how this loop is going on iterating and how it is giving a output. I will show you. Okay, this is the breakpoint. Okay, right click on it and debug for loops. Click on debug for loops. Okay, in the debug for loops, here this is the captions we win together is the value it have at the starting stage. We are not editing anything, we are not adding any concatenation we are doing, just it will show you as it is. It is a debugging. In a debugging, at the first step it is break that second line. This is the step over, this is the step into, this is the step into my code, this is step out. These are the options we have. I will make utilize step over in this example. What happens is if I click on step over, here the character W means from the captions string, first character W, capital W, is considered as a char. It is assigned to the char variable. Again, I am clicking on step over. Here it is showing a caption and a char. It is printed into the output window W. Here it is shown W. It is printed. So follow these steps and follow what I am saying. It will give you more clarity. Again, I am going back to the step over. Step over. Again, now character is E. Now character is changed. Character is before character is W. It is printed. Then in a next loop, in next character in a iteration, it is taken as a variable assigned with the character E, and now again step over. It is printed. Character is printed. Look at this. Character is printed. Character W is printed in the previous iteration. Now it is printed character E. Go on with the threads and variables. Again try to click on step over. Okay. Here we got a space. Here we got a space. Okay. Go on. Continuously go on with the again it is changing. Again it is changing. So okay. Every time it is breaking at the for loop. We taken a break point here in for our second statement, that is a for loop. So it is taken a in as a operator. So I think you got a clarity. I will continue with this. Check what is happening. Every time it is changing character value and it is printed into the console. It is the final character. It is the last character. If I click on this, it will end up. Yeah, this is the output we got. We win together. Okay, we got a clarity. And what we want is, I want to get a only capital characters in a string to be printed. Not all characters, only capital characters. It is the simple char dot is upper function I'm taking. What it will do is it will print character. It will print character which is the capital character, uppercase character only. It is prints a uppercase character. So try to run it. Right clicking on it and run for loops. Okay, WWT. Here the same procedure it will do. I want to remove this breakpoint here. I want to keep a breakpoint here itself in the statement 3. What happens? I will try to explain you. Debug for loops. Okay. The first character is W. First character is W. It is entered into the for loop and it is break that if statement. Okay, try to click on step over. It is printed. Look at the console. Again step over. Yes, it is printed. Again step over. Now character, second character is E. Step over. It will continue. It will continue. It will continue. Again and again I'm clicking on it. Now it will print capital T. Check out the console. Yes, it printed the capital characters into the console. This is the way we will use for loop, and it will iterate over the string from the starting character to the end of the string character. It will rotate and it will iterate and it will loop is rotated, and finally we get a answer. Finally we get a result. If we want to print every character, we can print every character. If we want only uppercase characters, this is the procedure. I hope you understood. Yes, I will give you another example to you so that you can understand very well. Okay. With this example, how we can utilize for loops in a different manner. It is a number, but we taken it as a string only. It is not an actual number, but it is considered as a string character. follow what I am typing. If not, num dot is numeric. Here I will explain you what is happening. I am taking a number as a string with a separators. I may use separator as a comma. Any separator I will use. With the separator, we if I take a input, within that I want to collect a separator characters into the separators, and I want to print it. So I will try to run it. Here I am taking this is the number I taken with the separators. Even I can take a string or anything I can take, but I'm taking it as a number. But it is a string variable. I assign to the string variable. Try to enter. It is not printed anything. What is happening? Well, here is the spelling mistake. Okay, I will rerun it. Again, here it is the error. I want to troubleshoot it. Okay, here I fixed the problem. I will try to rerun it. This is the output we got. So you can print a uh, string value as a character, as a capital characters, as a separators. You can do so many operations with the for loop. These are the examples. uh, I hope you got a clarity. Here every step, uh, separator is added to the separator string. Here the concatenation will happen between separator plus num. It will check for the num is numeric. If it is num is numeric, it is true. Not true means that it is false. So if it is false, it will not enter into the if block. If it is true, means that num is not numeric, then it will enter into the 10th line. Alexa, stop.
It's 10:30 a.m.
So here what happens is, if num is not numeric, then it will concatenate that num into the separators. Means that the separators is added with the comma, colon, all the things are added into the separator string. Finally, if we come out of the loop, here print is performed and it will execute and it will print whatever the output we want as we expected. Hope you understood. See you in the next session.